Okay, I'd like to update you guys on the latest on what we have found about Hurricane Milton. So currently it is a Category 5 hurricane, and it is right now about to hit the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Now, it is supposed to take a northeasterly track from there, and the projection is that it is going to hit St. Petersburg and Tampa Bay head on. And a lot of people don't really emphasize that it reaches Treasure Island and St. Petersburg first, because that is the area right before Tampa Bay. That is where I lived 2 years ago when we had Hurricane Ian, and I did a video or two on that way at the bottom of this channel under Friday Night Frights. Now, we found out quite a bit about this hurricane now, and Bring Back Shane, one of the sources on this channel, he found out that, and this applies really to all hurricanes, and I was not aware of it, but it makes sense, that there are hundreds of thousands of birds flying in the eye of the hurricane. And in this particular hurricane, since it is just so massive, that eye is actually about 3.8 miles wide from eye wall to eye wall. And all these birds are crammed in there, flying in a cramped area, because if they get caught in the hurricane, they're dead and they're going to drown, they're going to die, and they don't have any food, they don't have any water, and they're just flying, flapping their wings, clinging to life. And this hurricane is actually, right now, it has unprecedented 160 mile an hour sustained winds. Those aren't even maximum wind gusts. Those are sustained winds. So, the news isn't labeling this as a Category 6, but you may as well do that, because right now they're actually talking about making a new classification system for hurricanes right now. Now, I told you guys on my last video, and this is absolute truth, that these hurricanes are all geoengineered and they are steered. We saw that with the last hurricane with Helene, and we've talked about the reason why it went over North Carolina, because they are mining the quartz and the lithium mines. There's a company called Piedmont that has an agreement with Tesla already, and this is why I don't like Elon Musk, and I'm not fooled by him endorsing President Trump, okay? But there's always been something about Elon Musk that doesn't sit right with me, from the Halloween costume he had on 2 years ago that had the upside down cross. I don't know. I'm not trying to focus this video on Elon Musk. I'm just saying that agreement has already been made with Tesla, and the people are displaced. And there are still, I think they're talking 600 people still unaccounted for, roughly speaking. And what's going on there is what Shane has found out in his research on Hurricane Milton, is that the government is sending helicopters down, and they're acting like they're landing, but they can't really land. And what they're doing is spray washing all the supplies out from the people that need it. And you guys remember earlier what we talked about, how supplies were being denied basically by FEMA, and civilians were trying to help out and deliver them personally themselves, or people were trying to find personal civilian helicopters to rescue people. And FEMA, I mean, this is sickening. Like, this is an absolute outrage. Like, they couldn't even drive around a road closed sign and turned around in one town in North Carolina. And I know you're all thinking it. Hurricane Milton, is it going to go right back over North Carolina, the same areas that were affected in these mountainous areas? It sure looks like it's going to, because right now, from what I'm seeing, the track is supposed to hit St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay, and go up into Jacksonville. And then, to me, it looks like it's going to hit North Carolina. I mean, the storm is big enough and it's wide enough. Now, the projections are saying it's supposed to go down to a Category 3 as it hits landfall there on the Gulf Coast of Florida. I'm not sure I believe that. Right now, it's supposed to hit Yucatan as a Cat 5, but really you could say Cat 6. I'm not sure it's going to weaken the way that they say it is, and even if it does, they're still saying this is going to be Tampa Bay's biggest hurricane in 100 years, regardless. Like I said, we had Hurricane Ian 2 years ago, and it wasn't that bad in St. Petersburg, but it was really bad in Fort Myers. So the track of this one is supposed to hit Tampa Bay head on, and honestly, I'm pretty worried. Oh, and there's one more thing I want to talk about. I'm sorry, I almost forgot this. We're 5 minutes into this video, but I was asking myself, well, since they're all geoengineered by HARP, it's not global warming like they want you to believe. It's by HARP. They're drumming these up. We have the technology to fizzle all these hurricanes out, and they won't do it. But I thought, well, why Tampa? Because Tampa doesn't normally get direct hit. They get peripheral edges of hurricanes usually. Usually they almost always go to the north. Well, this one isn't. And, well, in Tampa Bay, you've got United States CENTCOM, Central Command, and that facility in Tampa Bay actually has to do with the Israel war against Iran and all the missile strikes and everything that has to do with any kind of logistical warfare. A lot of that is done from this Central Command agency on the United States side. So if you get 12 to 15 foot surges of water coming up there and affecting that, well, that's just going to affect how the operations of war go for Israel. So that's food for thought. That could be another reason why they're driving this right over there. I don't know, but it could very well be. So it remains to be seen whether this is going to go right back over the same area as North Carolina. Pray for these people. They need help. I mean, this is sad. I mean, it's terrible. And honestly, I'm a little worried. Like, I wish I was in St. Petersburg to film this and show everybody how devastating this is going to be. But I can only imagine what Yucatan residents are going through right now to see 160 mile an hour sustained winds. I mean, that's just mind blowing. We've never seen anything like that. Never. Not unless you've been in the middle of a tornado. But anyway, that's all I got. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to give you some updates as they come in. Until next time, Godspeed.